And how about the sticker price? $86,539 here at Yoakum Toyota. Let's see what else you get for that price. We've got our upper console up here. Depending on what you want to do with that, you can turn your lights on. We can control the shade and the power sunroof with these two controls right here. We're going to have our sunglass holder, and then depending on what you want to do with the rear view mirror, you've got the digital rear view mirror, or you can use it as a conventional. Now over here on the left hand side, that's our home link buttons, so you can program up to 3 garage doors, and then we can actually control quite a few different settings here on the mirror itself. Here's where you're going to determine what you control, and then you can move everything back and forth right here as far as that goes. A little bit of space behind the center screen with a 12-volt power outlet. I like that. Working our way down, we're going to have the Toyota logo there above the glove box area, and the glove box will offer a typical amount of space, actually a decent amount, and you can see what you have sitting in there. Nice large armrests and door bins. You've got the upper and the lower door bins on the driver and passenger side doors. Both seats are power adjustable with lumbar support, and we'll work our way over here to the driver's side and take a look at what we have. Here is the control that I used to fold those mirrors in. So push that back and the mirrors fold in. We can also control everything with our side view mirrors, lock and unlock. You can lock the windows, and we're going to have one touch down and one touch up at all 4 doors. Now, quite a bit going on here with your different controls as far as your auto high beams go. You can open and close your power tailgate. You can open the gas door right there. You can see a few other things that are here, including our heated steering wheel control right there, the button for that, and right here, the control to adjust your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel, should I say the release. And we'll have our steering wheel mounted controls here depending on what we want to do as far as that goes. We can use cruise control. All that good stuff is going to be here. And then everything on the left-hand side here allows us to go through different bits of information and details on the driver's display, depending on what you want to do and what you want to see. And you can just use everything here, the arrows, and then your up and down option right here. We can hit the back button if we need to go back. You can see what all is here. Voice commands. You can adjust volume. All that good stuff is here. Our TRD logo on the bottom of the steering wheel. Going to have that stripe in the center on this heated steering wheel. Front and rear window wiper control right there on the right. Everything for your headlights and your fog lights right here. And then we can also use this to control our blinkers for those of you who have been to blinker school. Now, we're going to work our way over here to the center screen. Nice and large. You've got navigation built in. If you want to take advantage of that, we can adjust what we're listening to here. Everything for the radio, or excuse me, phones right there. You can connect your phone. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then with vehicle, not a lot here, but some good information. So it's nice to have it here. Depending on what you need to know about, it's going to give you those details. And then we can come back out of that with the arrow and go to vehicle alert. Nothing to see there. We do have all of our settings right here, which is pretty simple to figure out. You just work your way through depending on what you need to find. You've got your vehicle customized, voice, and search. Depending on what you want to do, here's with the vehicle. Depending on what you need and how you want to set things up, you can come through and do all of that. Your software update will be there as well if you need to do that. And then here is what we have as far as our different camera views go. You've got your overhead view on the right-hand side over there. We can also go to our front view, and then we can come right here to our side views. It just depends on what you need to see. I do like that we have so many nice options here. And that's not all that we have as far as the camera views go. We can also select right there. Here's one of our options that we can use depending on how we want to see things. We can also come right over here and change the body color. So depending on what you need and what's available, we actually don't have the body color here for this particular Sequoia, but you can hit pause right there. You can also change to the hoodless view right here if you want to do that. And then when we're finished, we've seen what we need to see, we can come back out and go to this area. Here are your apps depending on what you need to see as far as that goes. Remote Connect is here just to give you an idea of what's going on. Nice large screen, easy to deal with, easy to figure out. You can wirelessly pair your phone. It's all here. Now, let's talk about what we have down here. Here's the control for your radio. You can turn it on and off and adjust the volume here. Dual zone climate control with all of your controls right here. Thumbs up because it's all physical controls, not in the screen. That's a good thing. And then we're going to have our ventilated seats for the driver and the passenger. You can control driver here, passenger over there. You can see what all's going on where that's concerned. And then we have a USB port right there. Now, some of our one-touch controls right here for things such as trailering. That's where we push the button to turn on the cameras that I showed you earlier, traction control. You can see what else is going on here. And we work our way down. There's your brake hold mode if you want to turn that on or off, your power parking brake. We're going to have our wireless charging pad over there on the right-hand side of that area. A little bit of storage. And then we're going to have our shifter right here. And the thing about the shifter, we push the button right there on the left-hand side to move over. Once again, that stripe right there. You can also go into manual mode if you'd like to. And we'll go back up here. Here's the control for four-wheel drive. So you're in 2 high, 4 high, 4 low, and you just push that back and move it back depending on what you need to do. We also have our drive mode selector right here. If you want to use tow haul mode, towing 9,020 pounds, you can do that. You can also come right up here, and I'm going to show you on the center screen real fast what comes up when we make those changes. So you can see the different driving modes. You've got sport, normal, and eco. And then we'll come back here one more time, and you can see what else we have here as far as our different controls go. Cup holders will be right here, and I like the fact that we have a very interesting setup here. First of all, you can use this as an armrest. You've got this space right here. We can go right there, a little bit of hidden space within that area. You already saw that you can pull this back if you want to, or you can actually open the entire thing and gain access to a large amount of space. Coin holders right there for those of you that still carry coins, and then a couple of USB ports and all of your storage.